Namaste, gods. Namaste, gods, goddess of light. This is Dr. Shriya Tian. And if you are new to my channel, please like, subscribe, and do not forget to hit that notification bell so you can be updated on my latest and my current videos. Welcome, 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 welcome. As you know, I am a neophyte, so I love to study various topics of discussion, and it's very late in the evening. Oh, excuse me. I just be having different downloads come to me at different times. And I just want to talk about my profession as a quantum healing hypnosis technique practitioner. For those of you that may not understand those terms, I'm a all lives regressionist. Okay. So I take people on past life regressions. Mainly, we view majority of the past lives, but I do have current lives and future lives as well. So that's why I consider myself an all lives regressionist because I just never know what time constraint I'm going to be on with my clients when I take them on their journeys to their past lives. Okay. So I've compiled a lot of information that I've studied, and I've studied under Dolores Cannon. This is her work, not mine. But I am learning as I go how to perfect my craft and the things that I've learned. You know, it's just like spirituality. Spirituality cannot be taught. Religion can be taught, but spirituality cannot because spirituality is what you experience. Religion is what you're being told. Okay. The same thing when it comes to incarnation and transmigration. All right. One of the two that I just mentioned does not exist. And it's definitely not incarnation. And I'm going to give you several examples of why incarnation is real. Well, when you was first born and you came out of your mother's womb, you were a baby. You're no longer a baby. Okay. From an infant, you turned into a toddler. From a toddler, you turned into a child. From a child, you turned into a young adult. From a young adult, you turned into a preteen. From a preteen, you turned into a full grown adult. And from a full grown adult, even if you're 20, 30, 40, 10 years ago, you didn't look the way that you look now. 20 years ago, you definitely didn't look the way that you look now, and all the way going back to you being born, you have changed. The whole purpose of incarnation is so you can change. There has been many people that have incarnated time after time after time after time, at least a dozen or at least 100 times, and still have not changed because they haven't learned their lesson. And this is the reason why the universe, the grand creator, source, gives us the opportunity to get things right. Many of you have made many incarnations within this incarnation based off of the previous example that I just gave you. All the different stages in life were your incarnations of yourself. And 10 years from now, it's going to be another vessel of you. Okay? If you really want to understand and understand it, you can read the Kabbalah. I started off with Hinduism, but it just wasn't that for me. I don't believe that you start off as a blade of grass or rocks. And, I was talking about this earlier with a close friend of mine, and I realized, you know what? That's what the Hindus believe, but I never believed that. That's what they believe. You start off in the mineral kingdom, which is 1D, and you live a long, boring life as a blade of grass. You live a long, boring life as a rock. And then you just work your way up into the animal kingdom. You become a bird, you become a dog, you become a cow. Well, from my type of study and the knowledge that I have, it's impossible because those are different types of spirits. All spirits are not created equal. The spirit that a dog has is totally different from the spirit that a human possesses, or the same spirit that a horse possesses. I was just basically listening to some lectures from Dolores Cannon last night, and she was talking about, well, one of her patients was able to hear the animals talk, no matter what type of animal it was. And she said that she loved to go down in the stable with the horses because they talked about people in such a way that it was so hilarious. It was funnier than any other animals because people would come down to the stalls where the horses were and make love. And the horses were talking about the way that the people were making love. They were even talking about sizes of their, you know what, and how small it was. So, long story short, I found um, humor in that. That animals, if you are an animal whisperer, you can hear what they're saying. And it may not necessarily um, be what you would think that an animal would say about a person. So, with that being said, animals, although they do have souls, animal souls are contrast to human souls because we embody that God element and they don't. And although they have consciousness, their consciousness is not as high as us. That's the reason why God gave Adam and Eve dominion over the earth to dominate. You can't dominate something that's just like you, right? So we make many changes. Even in this one incarnation, we have many incarnations within this one because you either have grown to become healthy and live a more optimum, abundant, healthy life, or you have come to grow old and sick. But regardless, it's up to you to make those choices within your lifetime. And sometimes we don't always get it right, you guys. So the universe opens up the door for us to come back and do it all over again. And I used to think that an old soul was a person that had a many incarnations. That's not really necessarily true. You could be an old soul and only have 50 incarnations on the earth, or less than that. Some can even have 10 and still be an old soul. Because what makes you an old soul is not the chronological order of how many times you've been here. Let's set the record straight. It's about how long your soul has been around and has evolved since it's been here. You can have someone who has only had 10 incarnations on the earth. They could be an old soul. And you can have someone who's had up to 500 incarnations on this earth. And they could still be young because they have not fully matured into the soul that they are. Isn't that something? So don't just think because someone says you're an old soul that it has to do with the chronological order and how many times you have incarnated on this very earth. Because remember, there is a vast universe that you have incarnated in. I know because I've taken at least 500 souls on the other side. And there's so many different explorations out there. Some of the times they don't know the name of where they are. And then other times like me, when I experienced my first past life regression, which I love, and I wish I could get someone who can induce me, but unfortunately, there's not too many people that I know around at this new place that does it. But in Indiana, where I was from, I know at least two people that did it, but I would have to drive like an hour or 2 hours away in order to get it done. I can actually induce myself if I wanted to, because I know how to induce myself and awaken myself. So it may boil down to that. I might get back to you guys and let you guys know how that works. But I definitely am due for a past life regression. You may not even know that I offer it. I do. There are some people that charge you $500 for a past life regression, and I don't charge that much. I mean, the longest I'm ever gonna have you in that somnambulistic state is about an hour and a half at the longest. And that usually gets us about 3 or 4. If we're really doing good, we get about a good solid 4 past lives or current life or future life or a combination of all of the lives together. It's whatever your soul wants you to see or remember. Because we take ones on past lives so you can remember who you are. I allow up to 15 questions. Most practitioners limit it to 10. But I know me, when I did my first past life regression, I really had about 20. I had to cross out 5 because she allowed 15 questions as well. And I said, that's a good number. 1 and 5 is 6. 6 is about peace, balance, and harmony. And that's exactly what a past life regression will do for you, is bring you more peace, more harmony into your life. There's so many misconceptions that are out there about past life regression that I wanted to take out the time to kind of dispel and debunk a lot of it. First and foremost, you will never incarnate as a dog and come into this incarnation as a human. And the reason being is what I've already explained. Those are two different type of souls. Even though dogs are very close to humans and they can really mimic humans very well, that is because there are certain races that the dogs share the same DNA with. And most of the dogs share the Caucasian race. Many of us have Caucasian in us. I know I personally have Irish. There may be others that may have French. I have French as well. I have Irish and French because of my mom's side with the French and my dad's side with the Irish. Okay. Another thing is people believe that portals open around people when they're getting past life regressions. It may be true. I would never know because I've never had a portal open while I was doing a past life regression, besides only one experience. I don't want to say it was a bad experience, but it wasn't pleasant for the client. I was fine because they did drugs like 72 hours within their past life regression. And you are advised to not use any substances at least a week. Anytime you're doing any spiritual work, you don't want to be open because drugs are a gateway. Those are portals. They bring things in. So, long story short, it was a male client who brought an entity in with him because the entity was already with him. I had no idea. I did the induction. We were on his first life. We couldn't even get past the first life because the entity was taunting him. And after the induction was done, I always have an interview with my clients. And I asked the guy, and just for the sake of confidentiality, we're just going to give him a name. This is not his name, and I'm not breaching any contract. I'm going to call him Scott because Scott is not his name. That's his alias that I'm going to just use for the sake of just, familiarity and being able to stick to the narrative. Okay? So I asked Scott, Scott, when was the last time you took recreational drugs? And he was like, well, um, me and my girlfriend did it like 72 hours before coming here. Do me a favor. I gave you a questionnaire and you filled it out and you told me that you did not do drugs within 72 hours. It's right here. Had I saw that you did drugs 72 hours before this induction, I would have never inducted you. You would have rescheduled your past life regression or because back then I was just going by past life regression because that's the way I was taught. And then I come to realize that Dolores Cannon, who was always coming to me, told me to don't call it past life regression anymore. If she was alive, she would call it all lives regression. So that's what I said I was going to do from now on. It's called all lives regression because she's my teacher. And even though she's on the other side of the veil, she's still teaching you. This is her work, not mine. So, in honor of her, I'm going to do like so. So, um, come to find out that same entity that taunted him when he was going to his past lives also taunts him outside of what we were doing. So I will call a spirit like that an attachment. And so would my teacher. That attachment followed him because he was an open portal because he was doing drugs. When you do drugs, you open yourself up. That's the only experience I've ever had. So I'm going to again say it is completely safe to do a past life regression or all life regression because there is no such thing as portals opening up around you. You are in the driver's seat and you are the one going through the portals with your spiritual team, with your angels, and with your guides. Okay? Your angels and your guides, they ain't gonna stop you from doing drugs and say, hey, don't do that, don't do those drugs because you're gonna open up a portals for attachments to come in. But yet your angels and your guides never leave you, no matter what. So you have to understand that. The only way that your angels and your guides leave you is if you tell them to leave. And unbeknownst to yourself, when you're doing drugs, you're silently telling them to excuse themselves because they can't be around when you're in an open state like that, right? Sometimes your soul don't even stay. Sometimes your soul leaves the body while you're debasing the body. Um, when you're on a past life, you know how sometimes people say, well, I felt like I was reliving it all over again because you were. But as a practitioner, I am to tell you that you are to be the observer and not to go back and relive those moments because you really are not reliving it per se, but you are recalling it. So that's why some people call it memory recall. You might have heard that term in Terminator. Okay. Total recall, memory recall, so forth and so on. If you really look at these movies, there's always a hymn of truth or underlying truth that's within the movie or the message. You know, we take ourselves through unnecessary changes sometimes. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you did not watch the video before this video, please watch that video because as high vibers, conscious people, awakened people, enlightened people, we do not take things for face value anymore. See, the way Michael has taught me to learn truth from fiction is bring it to your heart, the message, the story, or whatever it is that you're ascertaining. Bring it to your heart chakra, breathe it in, and if it feels bad or painful, that's a lie. And sometimes you can even feel it in your stomach. You can bring it to your solar plexus, and you'll start to get butterflies, and you'll start to feel real good when it's the truth. That's your gut feeling. Some people haven't got to that level to where they can bring it to their heart chakra yet, but if you are fully awakened like myself, you can bring it to your heart chakra. I do both. I go back and forth. It just depends on what the message. If it's a heavy message, I always put it in my stomach because it's easier to digest it there and flush it out there than when you put it in your heart chakra. And see, when you put something in your heart, whether it's good or bad, it hurts. It's painful sometimes when it's alive, and you don't want that emotion to be trapped in you. I know how to do Reiki to remove it to get it out of my body. So that's why I use my heart chakra as my GPS, my God positioning system to gauge me if that is the right path or if I'm heading in the right direction with the information. And you'll always know because remember when it's the truth, it feels good. It always feels good to the soul. It always feels good in the heart chakra. And you should watch that video though. I don't talk about what I just spoke of in that video, but I do talk about ways of knowing that you're on the right path. Because you're going to get so much information, misinformation right now. Like what's going on in Congo has been going on way before we turned on social media. Like this is 20 years in the making, you guys. It's been a whole Holocaust, worse than the Jewish Holocaust, worse than Hitler going on in DR Congo right now as we speak. Women are getting raped every minute. 7 million women are being raped. While we're buying our phones, our cell phones, and our tablets and all that, life is horrendous for them right now. The grave beings that were located in Miami that no one really has on camera. So a couple of people have footages, where they took pictures, some where they taken videos without. People are thinking that's an alien invasion. My heart center is telling me that that's government projections. Some of you may have heard of blue light beam or blue beam project. Don't you think for 1 second that the government did not know up until now that there were aliens? There has always been extraterrestrials. As a matter of fact, this whole system, this whole earth was built from the Anunnaki, which are, of course, they're extraterrestrials because so are angels. Angels are extraterrestrials. Okay, they're, we are not the only species. And God did not stop when God made us. As a matter of fact, the original source, Tiamat, created dragons, gnomes, fairies, jinns, demons. Angels, that's the reason why angels have wings. Wings come from dragons, you guys. All dragons have wings. All angels have wings. All angels are made from fire. Tiamat represents that fire, and the God of this earth intertwined, made angels. That's why they're made out of fire. They said the jinn are made out of fire too. They're supposed to look more human. I have researched this type of stuff for years, reading various books to link back to everything that I'm saying. I won't mention the name of the books because these books, honestly, you may think that I'm making this up, but it's not. It's not a made up story. I found out before I started working at the metaphysical shop, I looked for this book and I asked the name of the book. And a lady looked at me and she was like, I think we got two copies of that book here. And I was like, oh, great, where is it? And she was like, hold on, because um, if you touch this book and you're not a chosen one, you can die. You won't die instantly, but over a period of time, you'll die. You'll die quicker than what it was meant for you to die. I was like, what? Oh. So she gets the file, she gets the book, and she puts it on the counter. And she said, you're welcome to touch it if you want to. Of course, I wasn't scared because I'm the one who came looking for the book. Because the book was told for me to go buy it by God. God told me. I was obedient. I brought the book, I got the book. And so, with all of that being said and done, I still have the book. It breaks down about the pyramids. I even channeled information in addition to that. And then my teacher, because I have many teachers that, that's the reason why I'm so knowledgeable is because I keep myself in the know about a lot of things. Sent me that very day that I channeled the pyramids more information in addition to what I channeled, confirming everything that I channeled. And that's a whole separate video that I'm going to get out there for you guys of who really built the pyramids. I know who really built the pyramids, and it's not what you think. All right, you guys. Thank you so so very much for holding space with me. It just seems like every time that I connect with you guys, the more and more I connect, the more and more I get a chance to get a feel for the collective of some of your personality types. And a lot of you are wearing it right now. Wearing if you're on the right path, wearing what's going to be the culmination of mankind for 2024 and 2025. And my best advice for you is stop worrying. Become your God or your goddess selves. Stop relying for a savior to come. Jesus is not coming back to save you. You are the Christ manifested in the flesh. You are the Christ. You, you. Jesus is a cosmic being. Stop trying to make Jesus more than what even Jesus wants to be at this moment. Jesus has evolved. Once you get to a high plane of evolution within the cosmos, why would you want to come back to Earth? He has the cosmos to conquer at this moment. And you eventually are going to have the cosmos to conquer as well. Trust in Him. If you really are looking for the Christ, look within. He's there within you. Every step of every way. There's so many Jesus stories that I don't even want to bore you with my own. Okay? Jesus never told me he was coming back for me, not one time that I've encountered with him. And I've been talking to Jesus ever since I was a little girl. No lie. I've had interactions with Jesus throughout my whole life. And not one time did he ever tell me to get ready because he's coming back to save me. Not one. Jesus is the reason why I know how to center myself in about 5.2 seconds. He taught me a yogic technique that I didn't even realize that it was a yogic technique until I awakened and I started going to the Hindu temple. And that's when he puts point, his index finger, you would call it, to the sky, his thumb to the east of him, which will be your left side, and he brings it to the center where his heart is, at the heart center. That's how you center yourself. That's how you ground yourself. You just hold it there for about a good 5 minutes. It doesn't need to be longer than that. You breathe in, you breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Do that a good 5 times and you cool. Good, you're grounded. I wanted to, teach that in the divine matrix, but that's like child's play. Like that's trust me, you with the divine matrix, it's gonna be so much more deeper, so much more detailed, so much just gusto that I can never give everything away for free in that class because you have already had to reach a level in your life to where you can even enter the class. And this is not no cultic stuff. You know what I mean? It's not part of the cult. Like, come here, ye thy people of the earth. None of that. No, I'm really truly being taught and I'm being trained by angels from God to teach you the divine matrix. And it's not about escaping the matrix or anything like that. There's nothing to escape because what you resist persists. I've seen so many people talk about how they escape the matrix, and I've seen people make videos on it. It just never resonates. We are the ones that created the matrix, so why are we trying to escape something that we created? Just like we don't have to astral travel in order for us to go visit other planets and cosmos. We can do it with the power of our mind. And that's what I would teach you if you're ready in the divine matrix. Is how to use your mind to protect yourself, how to use your mind to manifest, how to use your mind to travel the cosmos, and how to use your mind to do everything. Because we truly are spiritual beings having a human experience and not the other way around. We're spirits first and foremost. That's the reason why when we go to sleep at night, we die. And we give ourselves up to the Father. That is the reason why you have that prayer that I know is a well known prayer around the world. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray to God, my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray to the Lord, my soul he takes. Something along those lines, right? If it wasn't so, we wouldn't need to pray that prayer as little kids. And if you don't know if that prayer, that's fine too. But many of us do. We go be with the Father, or we go and do other cosmic work, or we might do work in the twin flame dynamic. We may make love in the love chamber because there is a love chamber the twin flames go to on the astral plane and make love. This universe is a universe of order, not of disorder. Okay? You can't just be fucking anywhere you want to in the astral plane, y'all. It don't work like that. You go to an actual chamber and you make love. You and your twin flame. I know because then my twin flame made love twice there last time. And it really it felt so real. It just felt I can't even explain it. I don't even want to go into detail because it's really sacred. But when you're able to do that type level stuff, that's when you know you are on the right path. That's when you know you've arrived. Is when you literally can go to the astral planes with your twin flame and you are very much awakened. I was awake. Archangel Michael took me there in a meditation because I was inquiring about my twin flame, like some questions that I had. And he told me what I needed to know. He answered my question. And before he even had a chance to finish, we was already making out. The twin flame journey is very real. If you and your twin flame are going through a separation right now, like a 3D separation, know that it's also a spiritual separation too. And when I say that, I'm not saying that you're not um, together on 4 and 5D. When I say know that it's a spiritual separation too, know that it is orchestrated, it is God ordained that at that very moment you guys need to heal. See, my healing is complete in the spiritual realm, but it's not complete on the physical plane of existence. So we had, I don't want to say we had to make love, we wanted to make love because it's been such a long time since we've made love in the physical. We always make love on the astral plane, trust me. That's why I'm still very connected to him. There's no one like your twin flame. Even a higher level soulmate cannot take the place of your twin flame, but will take the place of your twin flame if your twin flame is on the low vibrational 3D aspect of their lives. And a higher level soulmate, trust me, come in and be the God or the goddess that you need to be for you and the rest of your journey. Don't get it twisted. God is not going to put you with a higher level soulmate if you and your twin flame are going to have 3D union. That higher level soulmate seals the deal, is what Michael tells us. It seals the deal. And we all have free will. We all have free will. It's our choice. If we want to be with a higher level soulmate, or if we want to be with our twin flame, because guess what? That's who gets the chance to decide that, not your twin flame. You get a chance to decide that. Whenever you're willing and ready to let go of the monarchy and the past, that's when you and your twin flame can begin. You don't want to be delusional about anything. You just want to let go. Like, you don't have to visualize yourself being with your twin, kissing your twin, making love to your twin. You don't have to do any of that. Your higher selves will take care of it. They will make a way. And you have to just trust the process. And just know that if anything happened to where your twin flame died before you guys got back into union, trust me, you won't be too far from your twin. I'm just gonna tell you that. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. I seen it with my grandmother and my grandfather, who I know are twin flames. My mother and my dad are twin flames. My um, grandmother died in September 2005. My granddaddy died in December 2005, 3 months later. I had some adopted parents who were multimillionaires who adopted me. He was the governor of Greenwood, and he died December 2013. It was the year I got married. And my mother died December 2014, a year apart. Twins don't go that long when the other one's on the other side. They don't they don't like wait forever waiting for their twins to pass. Even though they're not even impacted by time like that. It's just like I said, I can only go by my experiences and what I've seen. That's spirituality. It's not what I was told. I'd rather it not be that way anyway. I'd rather experience everything because that's what we all came here for, to learn our lessons. That's the reason why we have many incarnations, to get this stuff right. Some of us have been told that this was our last hurrah. This is our last lifetime. It's true for many of us, especially the chosen ones, the 144,000. But just because it's your last lifetime doesn't mean it's your twin flame's last lifetime. Maybe they may get a higher level soulmate in the next life to get it right. It doesn't necessarily have to be you to help them to get it right. Just like it doesn't have to be them to help us to complete our mission. And I might do a whole channeling on that, you guys, because I've just been getting so many downloads lately since I've been going through my spiritual initiative. I've been getting download after download after download. And this is the reason why you guys have so much content. Because at one point in time, I wasn't giving all of this content and all this information away. I didn't have it at that time to give away. I may have known about it like in the back of my mind, or I might have already had it in my internal library, but I am really pushing this stuff out because these are things that you're ready to hear. You're ready for it. And my last takeaway point for you to think about, if you're still straddling in the fence between religion and spirituality, religion, Babylon the Great, is going to fall. So please get out of her. The Divine Mother, do you see all these earthquakes? You see all these natural disasters? You see all this stuff, all the bloodshed that's going on in the earth? She's tired of her children. If you really want to know the truth, the old path of the church was worshiping and honoring the Divine Mother like the Indians used to do. I don't know of any culture or any race other than the Africans and the Egyptians and the Indians that really represented true religion in every sense of the word. This religion that we have right now is a patriarchal religion. It's a man-made religion. It's man-made. God did not make it. It's man-made. And that's the reason why we need to get out of it. Because we are moving into this matriarchal energy. We're here. Let me rephrase that. We are here. We're not moving. This is not 2023 anymore. This is 2024. For the truth hurts more than the lie. where your paradigms are going to be shattered. So you're also asked to leave your ego. Your ego wants to protect you. That's that fight and fight mode. Leave that behind. You can't fight up against the truth anymore. The divine mother is coming to reclaim her children and to upgrade her children to superhumans so they can live on her without ever dying, without even experiencing death. But we have to become more angelic. We have to become more light beings because she's a light being. And she's going to cast off a new light. We're going to have a new sun. We're going to have a new moon. Because, see, those old suns and moons were programmed with the 3D technology, and now we're moving to the 5D technology. And I can go on and on and on and on and on. I'm channeling. So I could be here all night, but I need to go to sleep. So thank you again for tuning in, chiming in. If you're interested in the past life regression, I can do them over the internet, or I can do them in person. I'm gonna be honest with you, there's nothing like being in person, but if you can't be here in person, I don't want you to cut your nose off to spite your face and not get it, because everyone should at least have at least one or two past life regressions in their lifetime. And I'm not just saying it because I am a past life regression, obviously. I'm saying it because you need to know who you are. You need to know your incarnation. Knowing who you are is going to propel you to where you're going. And it's also going to help you to find out your divine calling and why you're here. Okay? If you were a shaman woman, an Indian shaman woman in one of your lifetimes, then duh, you should be a shaman now. If you were a woman who was a seamstress, male or female, there are men that sew and can sew very good, then you should be a seamstress now, and so forth and so on, you guys. The reason why we're not successful in our careers is because we're in the wrong careers and we've chosen the wrong career paths because we weren't listening to ourselves. We were listening to other people. You should do this. You should do that, especially our parents, friends alike. And we end up being miserable because we're choosing things because of the money, or we choose things because somebody else suggested it. No, you should be doing what your soul prays, what your soul loves. It's a song, it's a soul song that's within each and every last one of us. And our soul is longing for this work. That's what you should be doing. Past life regression will teach you what that was and who you were and who you are. It's worth every penny and every dime. Like I told you, I did not get my past life regression through Dolores Cannon for the first time. I got it through another spiritual agency. And I paid $500 to get done. I only charged $399.99. You might as well say $400. It's worth every penny. And most importantly, is the best investment that you will ever make on your spiritual journey. Because can't nobody tell you about you better than you. Nobody. And the thing that I love about it is that I'm not the one that's doing all the talking. You are. And no, you're not dreaming. And no, you're not visualizing and making the shit up. It's real. Because I've done it myself. I know it's real. I used to tell my twin flame all the time, just joking around, that in one of our lifetimes, he was the woman and I was the man. And sure enough, that was my first past life regression. That was my first life that I visited. His name was Susan. My name was Mitchell. I was a guy. I was the masculine. He was the feminine. I had an affair on him, and I got his best friend, which was a female, pregnant. And Susan kicked me out of the house. We had 3 kids. They were screaming my name, Daddy, 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 as I was walking out the door. It broke me. I became a monk, guys. I took a vow of celibacy. Guess what I'm doing right now? Celibate, and celibate for almost 3 years now. Not quite. Let's see. 2020, and this is 2024. Well, wait a second. Hold on. 2021. Yeah, 3 years. It is 3 years in May. May of this year will make officially 3 years. I had to think about that. The- my point is, why I'm sharing this with you is not to make you uncomfortable, but to let you know how our past lives parallel with our current lives and why we do the things we are doing. I was a monk for the rest of my life because I loved that man, which was my woman, so much. I love my twin flame so much that I'd rather not even have sex with any other person in that lifetime if I couldn't have sex with her. And one would think, well, if you loved her that much, why did you cheat? That was my lesson to learn, guys. That was my lesson to learn. And I learned it. And I also, by uh, remaining chaste and taking a vow of celibacy, burned off the karma from getting the other girl pregnant. In this lifetime, we were supposed to be together. We were never supposed to part. But Susan still did not heal from what I did, which is my twin flame, Aranima. He did not heal from what I did. And it caused friction. We ended up separating. And then now he turned around and had a baby on me. And he hasn't paid for that karma entirely. Notice I said entirely because he still hasn't made the wrong right. But hey, it is what it is, y'all. And the way that I look at it is I believe that when twin flames are ready to come together, there's a seal that goes around you that seals you, and you're not able to get pregnant or you're not able to get someone pregnant. Obviously, that seal didn't go up because you weren't ready to come back into union. All because he didn't forgive me for what I did in the previous life. That made sense. That made a lot of sense of why I used to say he was a woman and I was a man. Because my emotions were not as weak as his. And he used to call me a savage. He used to call me heartless. No, I just am not as emotional as you are. And the fact that he was a woman in the previous lifetime explains that. Don't get it, don't get it twisted. Don't get it wrong. He's very masculine. As a matter of fact, he's the most masculine man I've ever been with. But when it came to his feelings and his emotions, he had no problem expressing those bad boys. It could also be because he's Pisces as well. Pisces are very emotional. I've known plenty of Pisces. I used to have, she used to be my best friend until I realized she was an emotional storm. She was an emotional wreck, and I had to pull away from her because her emotions start to um, bother me. I've seen instability in her mentally, if you know what I mean. So with that being said, I had to withdraw my friendship because she was too emotional taxing on me, just like my twin flame was too emotionally taxing on me. Plus, he drunk on top of that, which made it even 10 times worse. And I couldn't take it anymore. Not only because I would have never left him for that, not only that, he started to become physically violent to me. And he started putting his hands on me. I'm never taking that from nobody. I would never stay with no person who puts their hands on me. I'm not a punching bag. I'm nobody's punching bag. So he still needs to forgive me for impregnating his best friend in a previous lifetime, and I still need to forgive him for physically putting his hands on me in this lifetime. Because we all have soul contracts, we're all given a choice. He was not supposed to do that to me, but he did. It was not a part of our soul contract. And that's the reason why we had to go into separation. Because he wasn't valuing what he had. He was abusing me. So God separated us. Because if I would have stayed, I probably would still be getting abused. Because he has learned how to abuse me mentally and emotionally as well. And he still continues to do that. And then he twists and turns it around and make it seem like it's me, and it's not. I'm not saying I'm perfectly innocent in this. I'm just saying that I have advanced myself to a point where I'm beyond the dirty like games and charades. I don't do that. I don't play those games. And when I see it coming, I usually just block him, but this time he blocked me, so whatever. But I realize that we're always gonna be together. No matter what. He's my twin flame. I'm not sweating whether he wants to be with me in this lifetime or not, guys. I'm one of them old souls that I was telling you about at the very beginning. I have roamed this earth for eons. I used to miss him. But if you ever listen to Sam Smith's song, Too Good at Goodbye, I'm just used to us doing this. And I'm not saying it even in this lifetime. I'm talking about since we started. Some lifetimes we'll be together and we'll stay together, and some lifetimes we decide not to be. Maybe that's this lifetime. Maybe next lifetime. You know that song by Erica Badu? I guess see you next lifetime. No hard feelings. No hard feelings. Because let me tell you something. Whoever My higher level soulmate is, baby, I am going to love that man like he ain't never been loved. I'm going to love on him. I'm going to dote on him. And when I make love to him, baby, the stars are going to burst. And they going to come and clap for us. That's the end of the transmission. I love you guys so much. Love and light, guys. And I don't mean that in a Luciferian way. Let me get that right. Let me make sure because I got different people chiming in. And I mean this in the most heartfelt way. And I mean this from one sister to a sister and one sister to a brother. I really do love y'all. This is the reason why I put the information out that I have on my channel. It's because I want you to be well informed of who you are, what what you're approaching. And God is just moving us from glory to glory, you guys. We're higher and higher. Just get ready for the ride. Have you ever, as a little kid, took a journey with your parents in a car? And it don't even have to be like a long drawn out journey like going from one state to the other. Maybe you're going from one town to the other side of the other town, or maybe you're going downtown where you live at, but you were so excited because you were going to go outside the house that you got your clothes on, and you probably was even the first one to even jump inside the car while you waited for the rest of your family to join you because you were that excited. That's the way I want you to be. That's the way spirit wants you. Because we have so much good that is here already with us that even more good things are coming through. You know that song? Come on and ride the fantastic voyage. I forget who sings that slide, sticky slide. Who sings Come Along and Ride the Fantastic Voyage? You know what? I might have to look that up because that song just popped up in my head. All right, you guys, it is a good promise to like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a love donation if you feel inclined to. You can choose something from my wish list and it will appear on the channel. I love getting things too. I spoil you guys every time I give you information. I give you my time, my love, my affection, my knowledge. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're just tuning in and chiming in so you could be in tune with this channel's frequency. I feel like the more and more as the channel continues to grow and grow and grow, I'm getting a better gist of who's here, energetic wise. And I like that because sometimes I can say things that you need me to say based off of that frequency. These algorithms and everything that YouTube put into place are put this way for a reason. You think that it's professional, but it's actually spiritual technology. It is. Why do you think that YouTube has this massive platform that it has? All things work for the greater good of God, guys. God is working through me, God is working through you. And so it is, you guys. Namaste.